Geographically, France is very diverse. The English Channel, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Mediterranean Sea all surround the country. In the north, tall rocky cliffs overlooking the English Channel dot the beaches of Normandy. South of here, the Brittany Peninsula juts out into the Atlantic Ocean and forms the northern edge of the Bay of Biscay. The Brittany Peninsula is rugged, but further south, its rocky coast begins to give way to wide-open sandy beaches. The Pyrenees Mountains rise up along the Spanish border from the Bay of Biscay to the western edge of the Mediterranean Sea. And in the east, the enormous Alps run right up to France's southern shore, creating the jagged coastline of the French Riviera. This area is a top location for yachting and is also home to some of the country's most famous seaside resorts. Corsica, France's largest island, is located in the Mediterranean Sea to the southeast of the Riviera. A majority of this mountainous island's 330,000 inhabitants live in towns along its coast because its interior is rugged and very heavily forested. Forested land accounts for nearly 1/3 of France's total area. Forests cover large parts of the Massif Central, a region consisting of low mountains and plateaus. It is narrowly separated from the Alps by a deep cleft created by the Rhône River. The Massif Central occupies a significant amount of France's total land area, but is one of the most sparsely populated regions in the country. The Paris Basin borders the Massif Central to the north. This mostly flat lowland area is home to approximately 1/3 of the French population and is also the area where the majority of the country's grain is raised. An extensive system of rivers dominates much of the landscape in France. They are connected by a complex network of man-made canals that make it possible to navigate much of the country by boat. The Seine is perhaps the best-known river in France. It begins near the city of Dijon and flows northward into the English Channel. The Seine passes right through the center of Paris. 37 different bridges cross the Seine in Paris and connect the city's left and right banks. The oldest bridge, the Pont Neuf, dates all the way back to the 16th century. The Loire is the longest river in France. It flows from the Massif Central into the Bay of Biscay. The Loire Valley is often referred to as the Garden of France because it is such a fertile agricultural area. But perhaps the best-known feature of this valley are the more than 300 old castles and chateaux that are sprinkled across the countryside here. A third major river, the Garonne, starts in the Pyrenees Mountains. Near the Bay of Biscay, it flows past Bordeaux, which is one of France's best-preserved historical cities. The Bordeaux region is one of the country's premier wine grape growing areas. In fact, France is the world's second leading wine-producing nation, and so naturally it is home to tens of thousands of vineyards. But no two are quite the same. This is because natural factors such as soil quality, altitude, light exposure, and climate differ over short distances and affect the grape plants in unique ways to produce a wide range of distinctive wines. The last major river of France, the Rhône, originates in Switzerland, passes through the French Alps, then crosses the southern region of Provence before flowing into the Mediterranean Sea. The vineyards that line the banks of the Rhône are well known for producing excellent wine grapes too. And the beautiful lavender fields in this part of France have served as an inspiration to some of the world's most renowned artists. The tallest mountains in the country are the French Alps, seen here, which are located along its border with Switzerland. France's Mont Blanc rises up nearly 16,000 feet and is the highest peak in the Alps range. Its other major mountains are the Pyrenees, which form the natural boundary between France and Spain. The Pyrenees are rugged but lack glaciers and are not quite as tall as the Alps.